welcome everybody. Welcome back to Campfire Conversations, where we have short conversations about leadership lessons we've learned along the way. We want to share real life stories about hardship and perseverance. We want to answer some of the questions that come across our desk. And Matt is checking his eye in the camera because he wants to make sure everybody can see what we're about to talk about. Now, y'all normally hear us talking about leadership, and everything can be tied to people or leading. But specifically today, what we wanted to dive in is what's your standout moment? What's your elevator pitch? I think about the saying, if you were born to stand out, don't fit in. But I do believe you need to know what you stand for. And Dr. Seuss nailed it. And so if you don't have an elevator pitch to make somebody feel some way about you, and you leave the room and you get forgotten about, this is the message you need to hear. Now, Matt, you sent us 3 topics, and we're recording all 3 today. And your comment was, do you have an elevator pitch or elevator speech? Did something happen where you realize, hey, we need to go ahead and talk about this?
Yeah, this is great. By the way, do you two, I think I'm in the middle of this recording.
Yeah, you're a sandwich. You're a sandwich.
So, Brad, do you have an elevator pitch for Highline Construction?
Yeah, it depends on who I'm talking to, but sure.
Right, right. And Robert, I know you have one for Purple, but do you have one for Magnolia?
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're talking for somebody on a, let's just say somebody that, not a fence shop, but somebody for either a landscaping or a backyard pool or something, do you have your elevator pitch?
I believe so. And actually, one of my questions is, there's a number of different things. Are you selling yourself or are you selling your service? Because we're in a season right now where, especially my role is more so to sell this significance. So my pitch, Matt, is less about the product.
Yeah. My team asked me, so we were in an EOS annual planning, 2-day annual planning, and our EOS coach, David, he says to one of my top guys that I think so highly of, and he prides himself on being a marketing and sales strategic kind of guy, says, give me your elevator pitch. He couldn't do it. And I looked around the room and I was like, well, if he can't do it, I guarantee you this guy can't do it. So I asked one of my fab shop guys, Dustin, you know Dustin. I said, Dustin, do you have one? He's like, I don't have one. And Dustin's a little bit different because he's not into sales and he knows it. He's actually an introvert, learning how to be extroverted when he needs to be. As you saw, Robert, you got to meet him a little bit. He's coming out of his shell, right? So I didn't expect him to have one. Well, then I was like, holy cow, I bet you most don't. So then a couple weeks go by. They asked me, they're like, hey, what's your elevator pitch? I said, well, my elevator pitch when I'm speaking to an audience about culture and being a servant leader is this. Hey, I'm Matt Warner. John Maxwell told me that it's okay for me to steal this line from him, but I just want to be your friend. Right there, I'm trying to tell people who I am and that I'm a follower of John Maxwell, that I study great leaders. Then I always follow it up with, I'm a serial entrepreneur / Ford Bronco enthusiast. Everybody knows my pitch. So many people have heard me say that. It's all over the fence industry. That's what I start out. Then depending on what I'm talking about, I go into, hey, we do sports construction. We're also a fence company, but we think outside the box. We are driven by safety, but we also want to have a great fan experience. That's why we believe in building netting systems and different kind of systems to protect people so they have a great experience at the field. But we also want the kids to be safe. That's what we do, right?
Hey, did y'all just see what Matt did? He literally just inserted every one of his core values or principles into his elevator speach.
What I'm trying,
that.
Yeah, I'm trying to let people know that, one, I'm just a guy. 2, I'm a servant leader, but I'm driven by the safety factor of construction, and I'm passionate about sports. That's the industry that we're in. Now, I'm going to do a thing tomorrow where I'm bringing in some of my leaders, and I'm going to break it down, and we're going to pick out some key words. And I think everybody, and Robert, maybe you or Brad can tell me if I'm right or wrong, I think everybody ought to have their own. You don't
Yeah.
need to steal. Don't take mine.
Yeah.
Go make your own.
Hey,
So Robert, give me Brad. You're next.
hold on real quick. Hey, Brad and Matt, do y'all remember when we did the 3-minute presentation 2 years ago at my
Yeah.
office?
Yeah.
And how many people froze?
Yeah.
And I was just asking the sales reps. And it made me think of a few different things. One, actually, a lot of sales reps that I've been in front of in this industry are more introverts, but because it's a one-on-one situation, they can handle it pretty well. But put them in a large group, there was people shutting down. They said, "Hey, I've never done anything like that before, so I don't even have the practice." The other thing that I thought was really interesting was there were several people that didn't do well because they were trying to impress instead of impact. They wanted it to be more about what they've done or who they are versus what I'm doing for you. And so my son gets up there and he hits an absolute home run. And maybe Brad, Ryan can cut in a little clip because my son, he spoke from the heart. He didn't know what it was, and everybody was astonished.
I like to think the best businesses were coached. The best coaches are the ones who start off with a small company with big dreams. I feel like there are 3 big companies whenever I was like 5 years old. There was Magnolia, there was Buzz Fences, and DFW Fence. But Purple Coaching is one of those coaching teams that make dust turn into gold. I don't say Purple Coaching is some company. I say it's a team because we build teams at Purple Coaching.
Matt, so most of the time I know when I'm going to give my pitch. And so I'll give you a little teaser in a second. But set me up because I'm two different scenarios. And
Give me a quick elevator pitch on Purple Coaching.
Okay, so we're in the people game, and when it comes to people, we know they're complicated, starting with you. And so we want to just pour into tough conversations that lead to transformation. And so I am the master of the people game. So if you are struggling with people, including yourself, come talk to me. And that's truly like what we do.
Yeah.
You know, we're just in the people game. Now, I love what you said with the Maxwell. And most people know that I have some Maxwell, but I love what you said there, and I didn't want to fake it and say, "Oh yeah, Max," but I love tying that credibility statement in. So I liked what you did there.
You've heard me do it, right?
Yeah, no,
I mean,
yeah.
You've been at speeches where
Yeah.
I have thought about this, and I
Yeah.
wrote down. I want people to know that I wake up every day, every single morning of my life,
And take
I
a
study
shower.
somebody.
So you take a shower with John.
How
I
many
saw.
times have you heard me say, "Hey, Stephen," to Stephen Covey, "You and I shower together all the time," and it's a great little
Hey.
uncomfortable moment, right?
Hey, Alfredo, y'all know Alfredo. He did his 3-minute presentation in front of 3,000 people. And he said, "I'm Alfredo, and John Maxwell and I did 6 years in prison together."
Yes.
He said,
Yes. I've
he
never
said-
heard that, but that's
and,
awesome.
and he hit a home run. So that's, we are in the people game. People are complicated, and that's our claim to fame. Now on the
Let's get
the-
Brad.
yeah, Brad.
I want to hear Brad's. Brad, give me your best elevator pitch. I'm Brad
I
Williams.
think about this very differently than you guys. So let's say I was talking to an AD, right? Because I think elevator pitches, you should be talking to who you are because they change, right?
Yep.
We just did an event, and our pitch was we supply and install because we realized that at that event, all the ADs want to know is that don't sell me stuff. I want to know that you're going to come out and finish the job.
Yeah.
But I always, like if we're talking with an AD, we know that from working with you guys and talking with you guys are really stuck in the middle, right? You've got a board that doesn't want to give you budget. You got coaches looking to you for funding, and you just simply can't afford to get it wrong when you're spending money. You need somebody you can rely on, and that's as Highline. That's what we want to come in and be. We're going to come in and give you good products and good service, and somebody that'll see it all the way through because we know you can't afford to get it wrong.
I love that. It's good.
I love that.
Well done.
I have an HOA lady. She's looking to hire us for the HOA, and I said, "Listen, I understand your job's on the line with every decision you make, because like you said, you're right in the middle." I said, "I not only will not let you down, I'm going to make them proud that they hired you.
Good.
I promise you that. That's my guarantee." And I love that what you said there, Brad. I normally on Magnolia I pitch our guarantee process, and the easiest way to do again it depends like hey, what makes Magnolia fence and patio better? So well, listen, we got 750 5-star reviews, and we've done it with a bunch of different people along the way, so we're consistently great all the time. I can back that up with the 8 years in a row that we've won Best of Fort Worth. I can back that up with the and I just go into all these different things. But my favorite elevator pitch, Matt, my favorite, I always have a book on me, and I've written a really special note in it. And when someone's like, hey, Robert, you got 30 seconds. I said, hey, I got the book Speed of Trust. Anybody who's ever read it? No, good. I'd love to tell you about one of the core values that means the most to me. Is trust. But before I do that, I talk about the other core value, which is genuine relationships. And Stephen Covey and I are good friends. And he wrote this book because he believes everything's faster with the speed of trust. And I promise you we'll move as quick as you need us to. And so I have a book for every one of my core values. And I try and only talk about one, but pull maybe another one in and build credibility. And so I have a lot of books on me, but Matt, actually, Cheyenne, and somebody else from your company ended up with a book that I wrote him a note. Dude, they are on fire taking that book somewhere with them. Yeah. And Darren, couldn't remember his name for a second.
They all call me.
Yeah. And so that's my, yeah. So I like props in my pitch too, personally.
Yeah, I told them all. I said Robert's love language is gift giving, so he's big on it, and that's great. And matter of fact, I mean, we have different philosophies on the way we're getting done, but one thing that all three of us agree on is that no matter what, at the end of the day, a relationship matters. And you might have one way of going about it. I might have another. Brad might have another. All of our 30-second pitch, 60-second pitch might be a little bit different, but all three of us agree, and we would tell all of our friends around the campfire to say, stick to the relationship side of it. It's something AI will never, ever be able to beat. With that being said, I think we just put a bow on this sucker.
Yeah, I do want to tee everybody up because the next episode, if you tune in next week, is all about relationship over price. And we're going to dive into what a real relationship looks like. So if you need somebody to walk shoulder to shoulder with you, or if you need to grow before you go, we'd love to chat with you. Send in your questions, or let's jump on a call. If any of this needs more time, give us a call. We'll catch up with you guys. 817-995-0394. Reach out to Matt or I or Brad in Instagram and Facebook. You know how to find us. Cheers.